Clare Curran.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Communications and Information Technology and asks, what percentage of the 1,592,000 target households for both the government-subsidised rural and urban broadband programs have actually connected, and why are the figures so low?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Communications and Information Technology, surprised that the member has gone on to judge them as being low before hearing the answer, but nevertheless, of the estimated 747,000 end users who can now receive either package, the answer is 13%. Of the remaining end users who haven't had it built out to them yet, the answer is, weirdly enough, 0.
Point of order.
That's right.
Point of order. Point of order, Clare Curran.
Mr Speaker, this question was a simple question. It was a question on notice. It asked for 2 percentage figures of the target households. These are the households able to connect. What number of households are actually connected? And it was asked for 2 percentage figures.
Order. The Minister has given 2%. He gave 13% as those that are able to connect at this stage and 0 to those that don't. So he's given 2 percentage figures. I think the best way forward is I will allow the member an additional supplementary question. Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
Mr.
Order.
Speaker, why are there no figures for the actual number of people living in rural New Zealand who are connected to the taxpayer-funded rural broadband program, which she has touted as being the envy of other countries, but which is clearly failing to deliver?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Communications and Information Technology, there is numbers.
Supplementary question.
There is none.
I didn't.
Was that? I'm sorry, Mr Speaker,
order.
I didn't hear the answer.
Order. I didn't hear the answer. If the Minister could repeat the answer.
Well, Mr Speaker, the member asked why there weren't any figures, and I said there are figures.
Supplementary question. Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
What is the percentage figure for the number of people connected to rural broadband?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Communications and Information Technology, I thank the member for a question. The rate of uptake for the rural broadband package fixed line is 22.6%, which is about 57,000 rural homes and businesses, while wireless RBI is at approximately 6,000 end users. We can't give exact percentages of each component, as there are some that have a crossover of both fixed line and wireless coverage area, but that gives the member a reasonable estimation.
Very good.
Point of order. Order. This is a point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr Speaker, I'm reluctant to do this on the last day, but we've had the Minister deliberately fudge the answer to a primary question, make a member use 3 supplementaries to then get information that he actually should have given out in the primary question, or in either of the first 2 supplementary questions. And unfortunately, this has been the pattern of Mr Joyce throughout this sitting time. It's not fair for members to have to use supplementary questions in that way.
Order. I'll hear from the Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, the first question was about percentages. She asked for 2 percentages. 2 percentages were given. The second figure was about numbers. Numbers, were they available? The answer was yes, they are available. The third question got to the point, and there was a very clear answer once the member got to the point. It's not Minister's job to preempt what it is particularly that people might want if their question doesn't indicate that.
Order. 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 I don't need further assistance. I have listened very carefully to the questions and to the answers, and my job is to address whether they've been addressed. I don't have to judge the quality of the answer. That is for the members in this House and the public to judge the quality. In one case, I thought there was a question about whether it had been satisfactorily addressed. I did what I often do and give an additional supplementary. I think that was the way forward. So the member, Clare Curran, still has, I think, 2 supplementaries to use. Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
How can she claim that when, after 6 years, and where her government's investment in broadband infrastructure was touted as the big flagship program in 2008, only 2% of New Zealanders in the target households have connected to ultra-fast broadband, and a report out last week from the Commerce Commission showed that the speed of rural broadband has significantly declined in the last 2 years?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Communications, Information Technology, the member is simply wrong. She is simply wrong, Mr Speaker. The reality of it is the rate of uptake for the ultra-fast broadband at... Be quiet, Mr Robertson, and just listen for a minute.
Order.
The rate of uptake for the ultra-fast broadband as at the end of June for end users who are able to connect...
Order. 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 We could be here for a long time to finish question time unless we get a bit of cooperation. Honourable Stephen Joyce, if you'd like to finish his answer.
Again, Mr Speaker, the rate of uptake for the UFB as at the end of June for end users who are able to connect is 7.6%, which is 39,510 end users. And that's a 44% increase on the number of connections on the previous quarter, which is an excellent result.
Before I call the member has two further supplementaries. Point of order, Clare Curran.
I seek leave to table two documents, the last quarterly figures for broadband, ultra-fast broadband uptake, where it shows that the numbers who have taken up broadband are 2%.
Order. I don't need to know any further information on that. I just need to know the source of the documents.
It's a ministerial MB document.
Order.
Quarterly update document.
Order. This is easily resolved on the basis they may be difficult for members to obtain. I'll put the leave, and the House can decide leave is sought to table those two documents. Is there any objection? Sorry, I apologise. Leave sought to table one document. Is there any objection? There is. Supplementary question.
No, point of order, Mr Speaker. Can I table another document? I seek leave to table another document.
If the member briefly describes it, including the source, I'll put the leave.
A report on rural broadband speeds going backwards produced by TrueNet for the Commerce Commission, produced last week.
I'll put the leave is sought to table that particular report. Is there any objection? There is. Further supplementary? Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
What does she say to the hundreds of communities in New Zealand who experience substandard, slow broadband, are treated like second-class citizens to their urban cousins, and cannot either afford or get access to anything better? Communities such as Outram and Karatani near Dunedin, Otaki north of Wellington, Waverley near Wanganui, Haast, Hokitika and Westport on the west coast, to name just a few. Has not her government just abandoned these communities?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I didn't know we were doing speeches, but the point of this is the member is simply wrong again. The member is simply wrong again. Again, tell her that the rate of uptake for improved rural broadband is 22.6%, about 57,000 rural homes and businesses, and the rollout continues, Mr Speaker. If I could be helpful to the member, and I genuinely mean this, the answers I was giving her earlier are actually more up-to-date information than is publicly available, but she doesn't seem to want to get the answer to the question at question time.
Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
Mr Speaker, why is it that after 6 years in government, more than 1 in 5 New Zealanders do not have regular access to the internet, and 62,000 households with school-aged children don't have access to the internet at home? Why is the digital divide increasing under her government and becoming a new measure of poverty?
Order. Honourable Stephen Joyce.
On behalf of the Minister for Communications, Information Technology, I sense another crisis coming on, Mr Speaker. It's late in the term, but I suspect a crisis. Mr Speaker, this government has done a very good job of lifting connectivity for New Zealanders on the internet, and broadband. Mr Speaker, this government has achieved something that hasn't been achieved anywhere else in the world, which is the progressive rollout of ultra-fast broadband to a population density which is fairly small. We've achieved a connection rate already of 7.6%, which is exactly on target, Mr Speaker. We're rolling out a rural broadband initiative, which that member and her party has opposed both all the way through.
Point of order, David Shearer.
Mr Speaker, I'd like to seek leave to table a document which is the credit card statement of Murray McCulley on the 22nd of May, including a charge for internet connection to receive a note he should have been able to receive on the Malaysian diplomat case.
Leave us or to table that particular information. Well, if the member was misleading the House, that's a very serious offence. Order. I am putting the leave. It's over to the House as to whether it wants to see that document tabled. Leave us or to table that particular document. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. And that concludes questions for oral answer. Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn until Tuesday the 19th of August 2014. Mr Speaker, I'm proud to move this motion on behalf of a government that is working for New Zealand.